Do you want to fix your life? Are you tired of not having your shit together? Well, there are a vast amount of self-help books available that can help you get your shit together. One of them is Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. What does this title even mean? Eat That Frog. Title of this book is based on a story. It's based on a scenario. Let's imagine, and this is what the scenario is. The scenario is, let's imagine some reclusive billionaire, shows up on your front door one day and says, hey, I'm going to give you a contract for $10,000 every single day. That is $3 million per year, right? You can have any sort of life you want. You don't have to work. You can travel. You can play golf every day if you're into golf. You can do anything you want. You can have any life you imagine. The only catch is that in order to get the money, you need to eat one raw frog every day. Imagine it's like a boiled frog. So, you don't have to worry about diseases. You don't have to worry about like salmonella. But it's a gross boiled frog that you need to eat every single day. You need to consume it. You can use a fork and knife. You can cut it up, but you have to eat it, and it's gross. So the question becomes, are you going to eat the frog early in the morning, or are you going to eat the frog towards the end of the day? The contract says if you fail to eat the frog every single day, then you lose the contract, and there goes your money. So what do? Do you eat the frog early in the morning, or do you eat the frog later in the day? And, some people will say, oh, I'm going to eat the frog towards the end of the day, like, after dinner. Maybe I'm going to wait till the last possible minute. I'm going to eat the frog at 11:55 p.m. Well, the wise thing, the smart thing to do is to eat the frog early in the morning. You wake up and you eat the frog. And why is that? Well, if you choose to eat the frog later in the day, then everything you try to do in the day is going to be poisoned. It's going to be haunted by the fact that there's a raw frog waiting for you at home. Let's say you want to go play golf. Let's say you want to work out at the gym. Let's say you want to go to the movies in the middle of the day. Let's say you want to go to a spa and, get pampered in the middle of the day. Well, can you really enjoy any of those activities? Let's say you go to a fancy restaurant for lunch and you have the most amazing lunch. When you eat that food, you're going to be thinking about that gross frog that you have to eat later in the day. Let's say you go to a movie and you're trying to enjoy the movie. Well, again, you're not even going to really be focused on the movie because you're thinking, oh my God, I have this gross frog at home waiting for me. On the other hand, let's say you eat the frog early in the day. You wake up and you eat the frog. It's not easy to do. You gotta wake up, brush your teeth, eat the frog, maybe brush your teeth again after that. Okay, but at least after you've eaten the frog, you are free. You can do anything you want for the rest of the day. And you're thinking in your head, I can just enjoy myself. When you go to the gym, you can just enjoy your workout. When you go to the movies, you can just enjoy the movie. Walk in the park, you can enjoy a nice relaxing walk in the park. Because you know that frog, that gross frog that you have to eat has already been taken care of. So the book Eat the Frog by Brian Tracy, it's about procrastination. How procrastinating ends up defeating you mentally. Procrastination ends up poisoning your entire life. And if you can defeat procrastination, if you can take care of the things you need to take care of, if you can take care of your obligations early, then you free up your life to really enjoy your life and you allow yourself to be happy. So the follow-up question is, what if the reclusive billionaire, shows up to your door and he actually says you have to eat 2 frogs every day? A lot of people would still take that contract, 2 frogs every day for $10,000 every day for, over $3 million per year. So what do you do if you have to eat 2 frogs every single day? The answer is quite simple. You eat the bigger one first. Why do you eat the bigger, grosser frog first? Well, let's say you have two frogs to eat, and one of them is smaller and less gross, and one of them is bigger and more gross. Well, while you're eating the small, less gross frog, you're thinking, like, oh, this is terrible, but I have an even bigger, worse frog to eat right after this. Okay, so you're really hitting yourself twice. You're eating a small, slightly gross frog and thinking like this is bad and it's only going to get worse. On the other hand, if you eat the bigger, more gross frog, then at least you're thinking like, "Oh my God, this is gross. This is disgusting." But, at least, the next frog is going to be easier. Okay, finally, the last question is, what if this reclusive billionaire, shows up and says, "I'm going to give you $10,000 every day, but you have to eat an elephant every day." The question is, how do you eat an elephant? And the answer is pretty simple. How do you eat an elephant? The answer is one bite at a time.